Woo! Boys and girls, it is year 2024, and we are fucking back.
What's that? We need the bowl.
It is the return of the PP.
Bro, the PP is back. That's all I'm saying. With a vengeance. This is going to be a very, it is going to be a very, I don't know. See, I was going to say hard year, but it's not going to be a hard year for us. It's, you know, trying
hard
to
for the PP.
Hard
Hard
for
bigger than ever, bro.
We're
200
relatively
subs
flaccid
now.
PPs usually.
200
you know.
subs.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, who the get the fuck out of our way. Markiplier, who? I'm saying. You don't need Matt Pack when you got a full pack PP. That's all I'm saying.
Fucking move over, Jacksepticeye. You can retire now. Just so you know.
Mr. Beast, fuck off. I'm just saying it. I'm calling it. We're taking over your spot as number one. Or what is
Ooh,
that?
we're coming in.
What's that other channel that like they always compete for? Like PewDiePie competed for it.
T-Series.
And
T-Series, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah. They come to us now. It's all right. Fun. It's okay. It's okay. Guys, I almost forgot how to do this. How do we host a show? I forgot. Anyway, I didn't forget.
We've been doing it
Welcome.
for 4 years.
I know, right? Is season 4? That's what we're technically on.
I think this is season 4.
Season
I
four?
believe this is season 4, right?
Year 4.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't have a
Close
battle
enough.
pass. We don't have microtransactions. You get the full PP for free. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's surprising with you hosting. I'm surprised.
What's that supposed to
What
fucking mean?
Whoa!
What the fuck does that mean?
The resident whale here isn't charging y'all to watch our
Well,
podcast.
I would fucking take you off screen, but you're our audio, so I can't take you off screen. So you're permanently there. I can't take that off anyway. All right. Well, welcome back, all you beautiful people. I hope you have enjoyed your holiday break as we did, and super excited to be back. New year, new season, new episodes.
New year, new me.
Yeah, new you.
New year,
Yeah.
new PP.
In my
That's-
case, it's New Year old me, unfortunately. But
New year.
I have a mullet now.
You have a mullet?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, you are rocking the. Dude, you're almost get.
Wow, yeah.
You throw some shades on, bro. You could imitate Dr. Disrespect in a heartbeat.
Get some.
So-
Oh yeah, dude.
violence, speed, momentum.
I usually have some sunglasses.
You would need to
around.
throw
Okay.
tentacles in there, though.
You need some like pit
Next time,
vipers
next
or
time I got
something,
you
bro.
guys.
Yeah. Well, it has been an amazing, amazing break, but we missed everybody. We really did. And honestly, it was, I'm sure I speak for everybody. It was very hard not doing the show during the break because there was news that happened. I went on a gaming binge and bought the fuck out of a bunch of video games because I had nothing else to do with my time because I was off for a month. So I bought a fucking fuck ton of video games.
Congrats on the
yeah.
The new job, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Have we announced
That's
that?
big.
Okay, Bill was so happy he fucking left.
Bill was just like, I'm out, bro.
All right, well, Enigma, you have to do
Later.
your interpretation of Bill because you're now in his spot.
Hi, I'm Bill. I play a lot of. Oh, he's
Dark
back. Never
Souls.
mind.
Oh, you back?
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was trying to impersonate you.
Hey, you
how'd
know
it go?
what?
I mean, we are the same person.
it would
That's true.
not be
Yes,
the
yeah.
podcast, the pre-patch podcast, if we didn't fuck something up at some point. So it's
For
fine.
4 years, and we're still running into issues, boys.
That one was Discord. That was
Let's
Discord.
not stray too far from it, though. Yeah, congrats on the new
Yeah.
job, Sin.
Yeah.
big
I'm
news.
sorry if I shouldn't have announced that.
No, it's fine. I mean, I
mean, it's
am-
been announced.
Yeah, it's been
yeah,
announced.
it's
It's been
been out
the
there.
company have fucking announced it. I didn't know they were going to do that, but yeah, if you
That's a pretty
Don't
cool
follow
spotlight.
us on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Elon's butthole. It is it was announced. I am the head of operations over at Mythic Talent, which is a
Hey.
subsidiary of OTK, that whole family, and all that kind of stuff. But we're our own company.
Big
but-
boy.
yeah, so super excited to be over there. But thanks for that. But yeah, no, it's a lot of video games, and I when I put the list together of games that I played, I legitimately had like 5 to 8 games, and I was like, there's no shot that they're gonna let me go
Spread
through
'em out,
these.
bro.
So
We knew you would too.
I trimmed the list back. I'm gonna do some honorable mentions, and but I trimmed the list back. But
Spread them out, bro.
yeah, I will. But again, super happy to be back. Missed everybody. And I know that the cast had good holidays. Hopefully you guys' holidays went well. Would you guys do anything cool or fun?
I visited family, did a bunch of traveling. So I've been to North
I shot-
Carolina. I've been to North
I
Carolina.
shot a bunch
was
of
close to
22
your
cal
neck of the woods.
or 22
So.
long rifle. That's about it.
There you go.
Went
I just stayed
golfing
home. I didn't do
at the
much.
driving range.
So okay, I gotta unpack each one individually. So okay, for Bill, you went to North Carolina. Did you go to anywhere? You stop at like Raleigh or just in
Around
general?
Asheville.
Asheville, nice. Asheville's a beautiful area,
Yeah.
dude. That
I
area
love
is
Asheville, dude.
Nashville.
It is very
fucking
cool. There.
gorgeous. So
Yeah.
Okay, Kona, brother.
Yeah, good times. Went up there for a birthday party. Stayed for the weekend. Ended up going to Top Golf. Had some good sushi. It was a good time.
nice.
Nice.
Dude, there's a place called Blue Smoke that is a barbecue place in Asheville that's in a I think Scruffy, I think I told you to go to it. I don't know if you ever made
yeah,
it to.
we didn't make it there, but no, yeah, you did.
Dude,
You did tell me
it's
about
in
it.
a fucking like
I've-
12 by 12 building. Like it's small.
Yeah.
I have an
It's
important
amazing.
question for you, though, Bill, really quickly. Did you get
Yeah.
the sushi from the Top Golf?
No.
Okay. I was about.
Top
I
golf
was-
No,
sushi.
that
I
would
was
be
like,
an
I don't know if I
interesting
would
one.
trust Top
It's like
Golf
going in and
sushi,
getting
bro.
7-Eleven sushi. It's
Yeah.
like, you know.
That's my first time
Oh
at a
my
Top
God.
Golf though. It was kind of neat. It's basically just like a bowling alley, but it was a driving range. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
man.
like a
I
video
wanna
game
do it
driving range. It's
sometime.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
fun.
got to play some Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Hell
it's,
yeah.
it's pretty dope. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Enigma, you said you shot 22 rounds. I mean, that's the only rounds that are actually affordable right now, if you can.
That's
consider
true.
That, so
That is
there's-
actually pretty goddamn true. Yeah, we
anything
went
else
out
other
and,
than that, you got to take out a loan to shoot
I got-
a gun. So
I went out, or I got a 22 long rifle Henry lever action for
Ooh,
Christmas. I've been
ooh.
wanting one of those
Dude, I
for
want-
a long time.
I want to
Gotta
lever,
shoot your
lever
eye out,
action
kid.
fucking
Yeah.
so bad.
And
I
then
want to lever
my,
action.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel
nice,
cool as
man.
hell every time you
I
rack
do.
one.
I do indeed feel fucking cool as shit, and it's even better because my brother, and he's listening. I know he is, or he will be. Love you, buddy. Him and his wife and kid got me a 22 LR revolver pistol as well. So I feel
Oh,
even
hell yeah,
more like
dude.
a goddamn
Sweet.
cowboy, bro.
Yeah, man.
So
Get back on
yeah,
that
You're
we,
ready to head over to be in Fallout now.
yeah, man. Yeah. So we got that. We took took my brother out, took my little 10-year-old nephew out, and he shot his BB gun. We let him shoot a couple times on the 22s, but he was having fun with his BB gun. So he's got
Hell
one
yeah.
of those. He's got one of those Red Ryder long action rifles
yeah,
with the
yeah.
with the timepiece in the stock or whatever it is.
Sweet.
They say.
Did he have
Yeah,
to?
so-
Did he have to go through a whole like movie and write papers as to why he's gonna?
Pretty
know,
much, yeah, pretty much.
Why I should
Does
get
anybody
it?
else's family watch that like the
Oh, every
entire
year, yeah,
year?
every year.
Just have it
Every
on a
year.
TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
If
hot
it's
take,
not
but
all day-
I actually
day
hate
Christmas
that
Day.
movie. I despise it.
what?
All day Christmas Day. It's
I
on our.
can't stand the movie. Actually,
How
it gives
can you
me
hate
like
that movie.
PTSD
That's-
of being a
the
kid and
reason-
watching it.
It's
It's
because
the
he kind of
reason
why
money
he
when
hates
he was
it.
growing up.
It's
the
a
reason
scary
why-
movie, bro.
The reason why he hates it is because he like teleports himself back, and he was actually the kid, the younger kid that's like, I can't put my arms down.
Dude, those scenes literally gave me like PTSD, I swear. Or the kid getting his like tongue
the
stuck to
hell?
like the pole. The kid that couldn't get up because he was too fat with all the clothes on him, and they just all left him. They're all dicks.
Hey,
They're all
man.
assholes.
Oh man, back in the
Yeah.
day.
Scruffy,
Yeah.
there's a phone number that you can call. It's like for therapy that you can take over the phone. I think you might.
I might need it, bro.
need to
Yeah,
do that.
actually. This
That's,
is,
I'm
this is
curious
not
what
helping.
reaction you have to the leg lamp at this point.
And you know what the thing is too is that house is in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Which
So
doesn't
they have
surprise
tours
me.
there. Yeah,
Doesn't surprise
I
me.
have not gone.
Are you drinking a Modelo?
Yeah.
Oh, well, just 2024 sophisticated scruffy over here. He stepped up.
He's got to drink it with his pinky up though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Now we're gonna start seeing those Modelo commercials with Scruffy. All right. Well, guys, I'm sure you didn't come here to listen to us ramble on about what we did for the holidays, but I hope all of your holidays was amazing and either spent it with family or shooting rifles or I guess having PTSD from fucking a Christmas story. But we played video games and we cover video games and all of those kind of things. And if you're new to the show, well, and this is your first one, you can go to anchor.fm/prepatch podcast and go check out all of the 107 other episodes that we've got up there. I was actually thinking about it while I was taking a shower and washing my nether regions that we have like legitimately like 3 years worth of content.
Just PP thoughts.
Yeah, man.
Shower-
Just-
shower
just
pee-pee
shower
thoughts.
pee-pee thoughts. It's just
Can
that's where-
I also
Can we
Can I also-
make that a segment?
can I also just say that I have severely missed Sin's segues. Well,
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
we
it's-
we play video games and we review video games, and so we're gonna go into the podcast.
yeah,
We got a
right? Hey, look,
whole year of them now.
You
man.
played video games. I play video games. Well, let's
Look,
move on.
We already have something in common.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Okay, well, you know what? Half of you may be watching this on Twitch, and if half of you are watching this on Twitch, then we're about to cover some Twitch news in the segment that we cover streaming platforms. Is that okay for you?
That's
Does
great.
that
That's
work?
great. I
Yeah,
love
that
it.
was
I
pretty
love
good.
it. I
Alright.
missed it, man.
Well, this is not a segment that we cover. We kind of have taken away, and we cover when there's big news that's happening, within the space. And this is actually extremely big news, especially for really any live streamer. Let me say any live streamer
Mainly-
that's
mainly
that's gonna
Sinner.
have
It's really important, mainly for Sin.
sure. I mean, yes,
for the
but-
Uber nerds.
Okay, yes and no, but we'll go through it. There's some caveats. One, it's 2020 fucking 4. We can have crystal clear images from clear across the goddamn galaxy. We can get a picture of a rock's, fucking the porous of a stone on Mars, but yet we're still streaming in 1080p here back on Twitch. And so
And not
this
even
news-
well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Not even all that highly compressed. Like it's way too highly compressed. It's
Yeah.
gas.
So this is huge news, but there's a caveat. So CES is going on right now. I think it finishes up tomorrow. Is the last, or maybe this weekend. I don't know. It's the last day.
I think it
for
finished
CES.
today, didn't it? I thought it finished today.
Maybe. No, it's in Vegas. Nothing ever stops in Vegas. But
That's true.
so essentially, if you've been a part of the show, we have talked about this quite a bit as far as like AV1 encoding and allowing for 1440p streams. Right now, the only platform that truly allows it, and for all you audio listeners, I'm air quoting, truly allows it, is YouTube. And that does it properly is YouTube. They allow for, pretty much, it's not uncapped bitrate, but you can get all the way up to like 52,000, I think,
It's
or
pretty
something like
high.
that.
Yeah.
It's more than enough than you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can do 4K resolution, you can do 1440p, anything in between. And they handle it well. Like it works great. And they also allow for, AV1 encoding. If you're unfamiliar with AV1 encoding is basically utilizing the graphics card to compress and do all of the work. But what it does and does so well is allows for encoding to not have to be handled where it really determines based on the bit rate. So you can take a 1440p stream at 6,000 bit rate and it look crisp as hell. So it's a big deal. Well, at CES, Twitch announced alongside of NVIDIA with their new 40 series cards that they are going to be allowing for this enhanced broadcasting, which is going to go basically 4K up to 4K streaming, I think is what they're saying. But I think that is just 1440p. Everywhere I've looked, I have not gotten a
From
firm
what I
like,
understand, it's 1440.
yeah,
But
I think they're kind of lumping 4K into that. But you can do 1440p streams on but you have to have a 40 series graphics card.
What if you have an ARC card?
Doesn't matter. Right now, it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
that's one of the big issues that people are kind of like having
Pay
with
to
this.
win.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it's like, wait, so yeah, this is great, but this is a kicker for everybody to go out and buy a fucking Nvidia card. So you just kind of partnered with Nvidia on this. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, you know, you did
Plus,
this.
fuck Nvidia, by the way, with their slow rollout of graphics cards. Like, I'm tired of Nvidia like being the top of graphics cards just because they can get away with this kind of behavior. It's frustrating
Well,
me at this point.
it's not going to be that way for too much longer. They've got some competition coming out with the new Intel cards, and
Yeah, the Intel ARC cards are
AMD's
great.
actually doing AMD's actually doing really fucking well recently with
That's
with
good to
graphics
hear.
cards. So
Because
I don't think that they're going to be in that market for too much longer. Granted, you're always going to have people, those Nvidia fanboys, that are just like, I swear
I
by
mean, I like-
Nvidia. I'm never going to do anything other than Nvidia, and that's you're always going
I
to.
like Nvidia cards. I like
Yeah,
their
they're good.
stability. They're really good cards, but Nvidia is also a shit company that slow rolls their technology, knowing that every single year Sinan's gonna buy the new card whenever they launch it.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I already tweeted out. So when is my 5090 coming? Well, so where I think that you'll have some of that is, yes, with just overall like quality of cards, like AMD is getting up there. Intel ARC cards for streaming, I have an Intel ARC card right now that I can't use because I've gone back to Twitch, but they work really well for AV1. Like they've been out for a while now for AV1 encoding. But I don't think that you're gonna see them. I still think NVIDIA is going to dominate like these specific category, like ray
they
tracing,
will.
these
Yeah.
specific things.
yeah.
It's just like OBS and NVIDIA are in bed. They're getting in bed now with Intel. They are allowing Intel, but it really is an NVIDIA heavy love like that's there. So I don't think you're ever going to get away from that.
Like I said, I like Nvidia tech. I just don't like their business practices.
I don't like their pricing model. Their pricing model is fucked.
Yeah.
Like in what
That
world
too.
is it that we live in where the budget card is a $800 card? Like that's
It was
crazy.
900. You're talking about the 40 series right now. They're
The
starting at 40
4070
series.
the 4070 Ti Super or whatever else is like
Yeah.
$800.
It's crazy, bro.
So right, or is it six?
Yeah.
It's definitely not 600 because I remember 600 used to be like the kind of the budget range price. I'm pretty sure it's the 4070 Super that they announced. It may be in this article. Let me scroll down here and see if they have the 40 series. I don't think so. But they announced they did announce the 40 series, and that's obviously where this came from. 40 series.
4070 Super looks like it's starting
Dude,
at
I'm-
600.
600. It's okay.
Has it only been recently that they've started doing this kind of stuff? Because I originally had a 1080 Ti, and it lasted me forever before I ended up upgrading to the 3080 Ti that I have now. And it seems
there-
like from the 3080 Ti, like from that line,
It's
they've
the
just
20
been
series.
boosting.
The 20 series.
The
fucked it.
Titans and the 20 series is like where they started like just leaning into the fact that they can just charge whatever they want to because people are going to pay it regardless.
Well, not even
pretty
that. It's
much.
just it's the production of it. Like they're just pushing out. Like it seems like it's the Call of
Yeah,
Duty of
yeah.
graphics cards, and when
Yeah.
it didn't seem to be that way. The 1080 that I had lasted for 6 years, 7
I mean,
years.
it's still so you'll still be like. Actually, I was having this conversation with Enigma when I was talking about the 5090. And even to the point that it's such a joke now that my wife
Yeah,
was
it's-
like,
it's stupid.
"Oh, so you're getting a new card? You're getting? I'm assuming you're getting a new graphics card. It's another Christmas." But realistically, like if it wasn't the only reason I'm even looking at it is solely just because Unreal Engine 5, and anybody that's got like a 40 series card right now, even with an Unreal Engine 5, you should be fine. Like if you look at like the jump from I think the 4080 Super from like I think the Ti or regular, it's like a 1% to 5% boost.
Yeah,
right?
it's always really low.
It's nothing. Now, if you're talking about like a 3080 or 3090 to the 4070, it's like a 15%, I think, increase in power. So there's a significant jump there. But even still, like to your point, Bill, you could still get away with it. It's just when you start to get into like Unreal Engine 5 is when we're going to start to really see, I think, those
Well,
like
you say significant, but we need to air quote significant because like 15% jump is really not that
Yeah.
significant.
Like my
when it comes
3080
down
Ti
to it.
is probably future proof for the next
The only
like,
the only
couple years still,
significance
I would
the only
say.
significance you're going to see is like if you're expecting to get like over 120 FPS at max graphics, or if you're okay with 100 FPS. Like,
what I'm
you're not
saying
really
is,
To be
you're
fair,
not
also,
really getting that
also
much.
I'm also still only streaming in gaming in 1440p on PC, so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push 4K or anything like
well,
that.
I've
That's
said
still
this-
above like the standard though too.
Well, I mean, it is, but again, I think so. When I was
At the
saying
moment, at
significant, I
least.
was mainly just saying like in today's standards, like that is a significant jump because if you're talking about a yearly release, like that to them, that is a significant quote unquote jump in performance power. But I would bet that within the next
Yeah, it's
year,
Nvidia because they're
that's what I'm
trying to
saying.
sell it.
Nvidia, yeah, that's what I'm saying to Nvidia. But I would say within the next year, you're going to start to see like it's going to, once you Unreal Engine 5 starts coming out, is when you're going to start to see some of those like 20 series, 30 series cards start to kind of, I think, strain a little bit. But that just
What about our 1080p homeboys that are still rocking the old tech?
no. I mean, I think that Unreal Engine 5, one, it's going to come down to how well is it optimized. Two, because there has been a lot of stuff that has shown like that engine running incredibly well on very low tech. I think they just showed a video where it was dropping like 36 million bricks or something like that in a space, like, and they were all like coding light and I don't know, like physics all properly, and it was running off of like a 20 series card, and it looked perfectly fine in 1440. But again, I don't know what the settings were and all of those kind of things. So but
it's definitely going to be one of those things where like if you're wanting to do like high graphics in Unreal 5, you're probably going to be sequestered to like 1080. I don't think that you'll probably get very good experience with 1440.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that because your 1080, you got to remember like that 1080 is what, like 12 years old now.
oh, it's old.
10, maybe less, 7.
What?
7.
Oh, you're already talking
Like
about
7 or
1080.
8, right?
You're talking about the
10.
card. I thought you were talking about graphics wise. I was like,
the
fuck,
card.
1080p
the
is
card.
fucking old
Yeah.
as shit.
Maybe about 10 years. I can't remember.
I think it's like 7
like
to 10.
1060. I think I got around 2012 or so.
That's old,
Yeah.
man. That's old. That's
Yeah.
old. For a
That's
fucking
an
card.
old card. But the fact of the matter is,
2016, we're aging
2016,
them
yeah.
too hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
yeah,
so like
it's not that bad, but
years
like
still.
you've got to remember as well that like I've got a buddy that for the longest time was still running off of like a 980, and he just barely upgraded, and he was doing fine.
I
So
mean, yeah,
like
you can do it. Like the 1080p signal is a very
the
it's
the
not,
thing
it's not a
about it
big
is like
signal.
those old chipsets were like built to last. I don't want to say for sure, but I feel like these new chipsets are almost like built
to
to only
fail.
last for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least not built to last for a few years, because they can last longer than that. But again, it's one of those things where it's like it's the newness factor. It's the fear of being left behind, right? That's what they're pushing to people
FOMO.
now. The FOMO, yeah. Is they're going, well, if you don't get the new 5090, you're gonna be behind the curve, when you're really not. You're in actuality, you're not at all going to be behind.
Plus,
the
they
curve.
come out with all this like extra tech too that is only working
That
with
too, yeah, and then that's
new-gen
like
cards.
this Twitch,
like their AI
this Twitch
stuff,
thing,
their noise
yeah.
suppression, all that stuff. You can only use on like the new.
This
tech,
Twitch
pretty
thing
much.
is probably gonna push a lot of people into buying like the new series cards for sure, just because
Yeah.
people. And it might not do the vast majority of people. It's gonna do the outliers like Sinan, or like the people that are extremely heavily into content creation and want that really crisp, like very very good looking picture quality, right? But they're not getting that from Twitch right now, and that's the only way they can get it. So it's
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't know,
mean,
man.
I have firmly contemplated buying a 4080 for my streaming, like that 4080 Super for my streaming rig,
yeah.
because
yeah.
it's cheaper than buying a 5090 when it drops. And do I want to wait? Right. But I don't. Again, that's you're talking about fringe. Well, I actually don't even know how fringe it is. I mean, you're going to start seeing a lot of 1440p. They're going to sell a shit ton of these cards because of I think because of this. As far as when you're talking about people that do streaming as an everyday life. Now, the yous and me's and us, well, I can't say me. All right. The you guys and the, you know, the everyday streamer, I don't think is going to buy these cards like that, but the people that do this for a living, 100%.
It depends on how easy it is too. Like if it really doesn't have like a learning curve as to how to actually set it up, because like that's the biggest issue that they're going to run into is like it's setting up AV1 encoding and all that shit. Like
if it's how it is on YouTube, it's in the art cards. It's not hard at all. It's literally a button. You click one button, it changes.
Than it is.
The bigger thing that I think is going to that people are more up in arms with, and to be 100% honest, I don't agree with them, is Twitch also announced that they are basically taking transcoding off of their plate and putting it onto you as a creator, and saying, hey, you as a creator are needing to transcode and basically send multiple signals out to be able to handle, you know, whether or not you want the 1080p or the
that's gonna be a rough one on people's ISPs as well, because like there's only a certain
that's
amount
gonna take
that your ISPs
right away from the upload, I'm sure, right? Is that corresponds with your upload speed?
So the way that they're doing it is supposedly there's going to be a feature within OBS that is going to allow for like this enhanced broadcasting that will automatically configure the OBS encoder, including like the resolution, the parameters to what needs to be set, and just tune it like for you so that's the best experience. Again, you have to have one of these cards to do that, but it will automatically allow for that to happen. And it's not supposed to be any more of a strain. I don't know how they get away with that, because you're still I don't know enough about this side of the tech, but like you're still
it's gonna
taking that signal and basically tripling it, all right, and streaming to 1080, 720, 1440. I don't know, but again, I'm not.
It's gonna be a huge. So. It's gonna be a huge bog down on your ISP, and there's probably gonna be people that get in trouble for it, because ISPs generally, I imagine it's probably gonna be something in comparison to like, I forget what they call it, peer to peer, right? Where it's like you have multiple connections going into your PC and multiple data packets being sent out to multiple different locations, right? So I'm curious how if that's gonna flag ISPs for like peer-to-peer sharing and like hacking and not hacking, but pirating, you know?
Yeah. I mean, so we're getting some kind of let me explain why I'm not upset. I'm saying that it's not as a big deal, or I don't agree with them being as upset. Like people are just like flaming the shit out of Twitch. And I will say, like, hey, you know what? Like, the one thing that does piss me off is the fact that, you know, Twitch, you have AWS, like you have the bandwidth to do this. Like you absolutely could allow for transcoding. You could allow for 1440p or whatever else. I'm just saying that from a business perspective, that we've known and has now been confirmed by Dan Clancy, like Twitch is not profitable. Amazon is not going to be like, oh, we are cool with, you know, spending a shit ton more money, right, to up the bandwidth, even though it's to them it's a fraction, but when we see the number, it would be a shit ton, and then to dump more resources into a platform that is not performing. It's just financially not viable. They're not going to do that. So that's where I'm saying, like, hey, so you guys have to understand it is still a business. Like it still has to be run like a business. That's all. Like that's all I'm saying about them being pissed off about it. So anyway, Twitch, they're allowing for AV1 encoding if you have the 40 series cards. So
fork out that cash, baby.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move into what we've been playing. And you know what, Mr. Enigma, I'm actually gonna let you go first because I believe this actually came out first.
Came out before.
Yeah,
this came out before, like shortly after our break. So all of us have been, not all of us, myself and Sinan played it a little bit. Did you play too much of it, or did you
I've dabbled in it, but I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, it's Yeah, it's
So
me.
this
It's an
this
icky
is
issue.
we've talked about this in the past. So this is Ascension WoW. If you guys don't know what Ascension WoW is, Ascension WoW is a private server. It's a classless server. So by that, I mean you don't have classes. So there's no hunter, there's no paladin, there's no you know, rogue, etc., etc., etc. Right? The skills are still in the game, but they make it so that you can basically take those skills and make your own class out of all those skills. So you just get an ability given to you. Essentially, it's in this wild card situation. It's randomly given to you, so it's all RNG as to what you get. You can completely be screwed over by RNG, or you can completely be a boss and completely overpowered because of RNG. It's just really up to what your luck is, right? So they released a new season. We talked about this a little bit before we went on break when we were talking about hardcore WoW, and I finally got my hands on it. I've been putting a lot of hours into this, a lot of hours. Not as many as some of my friends. We talked about it a little bit. One of my friends has re-rolled like 400 times or some shit like
Oh
that for
my
abilities. So
gosh.
it's yeah, he found out today or yesterday that the ability scroll rerolls, you can only get 400 of them before you get like limited as to how many you can purchase with ascension points. And then
Wow.
then after that you have to get you have to get the reroll scrolls through doing like open world questing, PvP, dungeons, etc., etc. You know, so you have to get them through other avenues rather than just purchasing them with ascension points. But I mean, it's 400 rolls. You know, like Jesus Christ, man, you settle down. Come on, oh my God, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
But Ascension WoW, like I said, is a classless WoW. The wild card system is completely you level from 1 to 60 with completely random abilities. And it's got completely customized abilities as well, which is kind of I think their biggest like draw when it came to like why it's so popular right now is because we talked about Season of Discovery prior to this releasing. Season of Discovery is not doing that well right now, just simply because of how little content there is
What
right
do you
now.
mean,
It's
dude? That
locked
game is popping with players right now.
it's popping with bots. I wouldn't say
player
players.
base is huge.
I wouldn't say player base. I would say bot base for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely a bot base, bro.
But so SOD Season of Discovery is kind of the same. It's not a classless WoW, but it's like they have certain quote unquote, you can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes again. Customized abilities and such. Not as many as Ascension though. Like Ascension has I think 1500 custom abilities pretty much, like or 1500 abilities in general. A lot of those are customized and they have like different effects and everything like that. So it's crazy, man. If you guys I will 100% say I'll be the first one to say that like it is very confusing. It's very daunting. And I think that's probably why Sin probably dropped out, right?
It's just
'Cause
it's
it was still really daunting.
overwhelming, man. Like
Yeah.
it's still like I'm watching this trailer and just going, God fuck, dude, this is like so much fun and all of it. But
This is like some PoE level stuff. Like,
fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
it is. Well,
it-
honestly, it is 100% like I would equate this to like the PoE of WoW for sure.
mhm.
Like it is very daunting and it's even more daunting with the Season of Discovery because if you just saw that like the original like the original customized abilities, they used to be in like one single ability. So like you would get something like hoplite training, which was a skill that gave you the ability to have a pole arm and a shield. So you could have a two-handed pole arm and a shield, right? But inside of that ability, it also had like shield training, it also had pole arm training, two-handed training, you know, I had a bunch of other custom like uh damage mitigation, everything like that. They've now separated all of those out from that hoplite training and made them their own things. So now you have 6 abilities that were in one ability now each individually in their own ability. So you have to kind of it's a lot, man. It is I'll be the first one to say yeah, it's a lot, but like if you get into it and you actually put the time into it, it's not terribly difficult to wrap your head around. If you just kind of like focus on one build, get that figured out, prestige it, get to 60, prestige it, and then you continuously take it one step at a time, one build at a time, it's a lot easier rather than like, oh my god, I have 1,500 abilities that I have to figure out what they do. No, don't do that because you're just gonna burn yourself out.
Well, I think even just starting from like wanting to like there's a couple gripes that I have with it. One, I will say this about WoW, regular like retail classic, whatever you want to call it. Like their UI, their their user experience, that is there's something very just clean feeling about it. Though, and I'm watching the video and I'm like, some of this stuff, like some of this shit, like you have to like go into certain settings, turn off everything to like make it look like retail WoW or classic. Because that was one, and I know it's something stupid, but like there is a lot of like fucking like hotbars, things here that pop up on my screen. I'm like, holy fuck, man, how do I get some of this shit to go away so I can just like, figure out what I'm wanting to do or whatever. That's a very small, very me gripe. The biggest thing I had was just like figuring out, like, even with the wild card system being like, okay, I want to be a rogue, but I want to have this ability, but then I want to have like this ability, and just like picking my first three abilities, I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
that's the whole thing. So like when it comes down to that, I understand that because it took me a little bit of time to figure out what the hell was going on. Because they don't really tell you anything, right? Like they just kind of throw you into the world and say, here's 4 abilities, figure the fuck out, right? Um, they never really told you the fact that like the starter abilities, there's an ability or there's a thing inside of the game that you can actually tell it, hey, I want these starting abilities, these ones specifically. So if you could roll these for me while I'm rolling in my starting abilities, that would be great. And generally speaking, if you plug those abilities into the card system, you'll get them right off the bat, more or less. So there's certain instances of like information that wasn't really provided and information that had to be gained through actually like playing the game and everything like that. But no, I will 100% agree with you that it can be very daunting and very confusing, like when you first get into it, if you've never actually like played Ascension in general, right?
Yeah.
Granted, they have all new things going on right now. So you've got the Mana Storm, which is really cool. I actually quite enjoy the Mana Storm. The Mana Storm is just like an endless dungeon. It's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a roguelike horde mode, right?
Like yeah, like a roguelike. Yeah, like a roguelike dungeon where you just it teleports you into a dungeon, you kill the boss, and then you teleport to a new dungeon, and you have to clear up to the boss and kill the boss, and then you teleport you into a dungeon, right? So in every like 5 to 10 levels, you get like a save point that you can continue, you can like exit out, sell all the mass amounts of shit that you get, because like you get a lot of crap. Like I don't know how people play this game without the bags, like the 22 slot bags, full 22 slot bags. It's crazy. I don't know how you do that. So it's a difficult one, but yeah, I don't know. It's not for everybody. I think SOD kind of does it better when it comes down to like simplicity, but then again, I look at it like, again, Season of Discovery, they don't really got anything going for them right now. Like
No.
everybody's done with it.
I mean,
that's the
we
biggest
get
problem that we have.
What,
Is
the
like
8th, I think, is when the new February 8th is
I
whenever
think
the new
so.
content
Yeah,
comes.
but even that new content, we're locked to 40. So it's like
Yeah.
they.
But at
they
least
gave us
40's got more dungeons
15
and more
extra
shit than
levels, you know?
25. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's to me, I feel in my eyes, this does what SOD is doing
oh, absolutely.
better by like
Yeah.
a long shot.
100%.
And I enjoy this so much more. Granted, I'm probably gonna go back to SOD and check out the new stuff, but it's a good time and it's free. So you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you don't like the wild card, they do have another server that's like you can build your own build, but that's not
Even
updated
more
to the latest one. Yeah, that's not updated to the latest one, so that's the old version where everything was like cloistered into different abilities. So if you're looking for that, that might be a better one, but yeah, that can be even more daunting just because even with it all clustered into like one ability, there's still like 200 extra abilities in the game. So it's very daunting when it comes down to it. But if you wrap your head around it, get into it, try it out, I think you'll really enjoy it. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just need to fucking push through the very beginning and get through it, because I know that I would enjoy it, but Oh, cool. Well, there you go. Ascension. You can look it up, Project Ascension or ascension.gg, and go download that and take a look if you want to try it out. All right, Bill, hit me up, buddy. You have been playing. So looks like the first game I'm showing here or we're showcasing is Dark Souls. One? What made you go back to Dark Souls 1?
Because this is start of the year every year. In January, the community comes together, typically through Reddit and stuff, and does the Return to Lordran event. They do a return event for all of the original games: Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne. This is just Dark Souls 1's time to shine. So I've been partaking in the return event a little bit. It's a way to get the community back into the game, get more player population so that you can PvP, so that you can co-op, and kind of get as close, get as close to that like initial playthrough experience as possible. A lot of people will start up new characters and do a completely new playthrough through this. I did a little bit of both. I did some New Game Plus stuff. I did a new character. I also did it on both PC and a little bit on PS5. It was a good time. I didn't really get to experience Dark Souls 1 PvP back in the day, back when it first started, as heavily as I wanted to. It was a little past like the game's prime whenever I realized that I liked PvP in these kinds of games, and by the time I went back to it, there just wasn't the player population. But that's the good thing about these kinds of events. It keeps the game alive. It keeps things going, and it just gives a lot of fun to be had in an older, beloved title.
It's pretty cool that the whole community is coming together to do this. How long do these community events usually go on for? Like last for?
Usually a couple weeks. So this one is the 5th through the 19th. It usually takes place that first weekend of January through a couple weeks past that. So
do they move on from like the first game to then like, hey, we're gonna go to the second and third?
Not directly. I think Dark Souls 2's event is sometime in March.
Okay.
But they have set times on like community boards, the subreddits, discords, and stuff that basically, I don't know who decides it, but it becomes decided that these are the 2 weeks that we're going to do for these events. And they do 2 weeks to give people enough time, one, to jump in if they want to, and two, to give them enough time to get through the games if they're not like the quickest, or if they have jobs and stuff like that.
That's cool.
I have watched, I've thoroughly enjoyed all of your shorts when you do the PvP stuff, and I've seen you do these.
Yeah.
And I have watched you numerous times wreck the shit out of people doing that. Whatever, I guess it's the wrath of gods, but just fucking wrecking people left and right with this ability.
They're trying to block it, run from it, everything. And just
man. So, this is the first time I ever dabbled in Faith in, honestly, most games. Most of the Souls games, I've not been a Faith user. This
just
one
I
wanted to give it a try, and I fell in love with the spell. You only get 3 casts of it, but it is a very satisfying spell, especially if somebody's playing a little bit too aggressive, somebody's turtling behind a shield a little bit too much. You just give them the big chest bump and explode, and it sends them flying.
I think the one I loved the most was you were fighting some dude that was wearing, I guess it's like, I call it the onion armor, but it's like the I don't know.
The armor, the
green armor.
Sure. And whatever. And he's using the Estus flask, and like, you're just like, not time to heal right now. And you're just like, boom. And I'm just like, oh, that poor fucker. This is like if I started, like I started playing Street Fighter, and me getting into like a match with someone that's been fucking playing these games for years. I'm just going to get Rick fucking rolled. But I've enjoyed the shit out of your shorts doing this. So this is cool.
Yeah.
No, it's
I've
really
been having a lot of fun with it. I'm probably done with the event as of right now. It's not as populated as I would have really liked, but I mean, this game's how fucking old at this point.
Do you get anything from the event? Like, is there any like cosmetics or anything? Like, I doubt it, right? Because like
it's not an official From Software event. It's just a community.
You did find that one like really rare mob that you had a better chance to find with people online, right?
Yeah, I did end up seeing one of those. Dark Souls 1 had a weird mechanic where if you died with so much humanity on you, there's a chance that your body would spawn a vagrant, a little crab enemy
Yeah.
that held some of your humanity, and it would bounce to other people's worlds if they didn't see it and they like rested at a bonfire. It would just disappear and go to a different world.
Wow.
And after 20 or so bounces, it would turn into like a mega crab.
That's cool.
And it was something that I saw. I had never seen it in my entire time playing Dark Souls 1. I saw one for the first time. It was really really
pretty
neat.
cool.
That's
But
awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
It's good. It was a lot of fun. I did get some co-op and I got some PvP in. Not as quickly or as much as I really wanted to, just because you're not bringing a ton of people back. I was doing some number crunching. Steam charts usually Dark Souls 1 remastered is sitting around 2,000 player average. This one gave about a 2,500. Like we're up to about 500 players because of the
It's
event.
still
So
not bad. I
it,
mean,
it was a decent spike. It was about a quarter of the player base. Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically 25%ed up.
for a
So
decade-old game, I mean, it's
a
not.
decade-old game that's been split between the original Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition and now the remaster. Prepare to Die's servers are completely offline, so remaster is the only place that you can play it. But a lot of people still prefer the Prepare to Die edition, at least on PC. So
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's, yeah,
cool.
it's got a pretty decent peak rate here. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
made me
I'm looking up on SteamDB, and it's got a decent peak rate there.
watching
Yeah.
you play this has made me want to, because I never finished Elden Ring. Like I never got close to finishing Elden Ring, and I really was like, I really should do that game justice and finish that game and actually play it all the way through. And it's actually made me like reinstall and be like, cool, you know what? I'm gonna go fucking play. I'm gonna do my due diligence and play Elden Ring and beat it.
yeah, go play some Elden Ring if you want somebody to play Elden Ring with at any point. Let me
then he
know. I
bought
got
10
you.
other games to play.
No, I just downloaded Elden Ring, so don't worry about that. All right, well, gonna move on to the next game, Bill, that you've been playing, which this is Final Fantasy 16 Echoes of the Fallen. It's a mod or mode. What is this? A mod or mode? This is the shadow drop mode, right? Like that you just like drop.
Yeah, this is a Shadow Drop DLC that they launched at the Game Awards, like during the Game Awards. They're like, hey, surprise, this is live now. First DLC of Final
Surprise,
Fantasy 16.
motherfuckers.
Free DLC?
No, it's a $10 DLC.
Oh.
So not a huge price point, or if you get the
It's
season
not bad
pass.
for a DLC.
If you get the season pass, it's tied in with a DLC that's going to be coming out in the spring, late spring of this year, called The Rising Tide. It's going to be a Leviathan themed DLC. So very excited about that one.
Ooh.
But yeah.
My biggest
Echoes
question: when's it coming to PC?
It'll be on the Epic Game Store in a couple months. Don't worry.
Probably.
Hashtag
Unfortunately.
soon TM. They are working on the PC port, but Echoes of the Fallen, I played it almost immediately after actually no, I didn't play it almost immediately because I wanted to play it on the New Game Plus Final Fantasy mode difficulty. And to access this DLC, you have to get all the way through the game. And Final Fantasy 16 is a long game. But finally did it. Did it last month and played through it. It's a good little romp. For $10, I don't know what you guys kind of expect from single player RPG style DLCs, at least at that like price point.
At a $10 price point, I'm not expecting much, but
I think that's a perfect price point for a DLC though, because DLCs aren't supposed to be like a full another game within itself. It's supposed to be like maybe 4 to 8 hours, depending on like the game that you're playing.
Well, this is 2.5 to 3, so it's a little bit on the short side.
A little shorter, I'd say, but still.
Yeah, I was comparing it in my brain to the Separate Ways DLC from Resident Evil 4, because it was also a $10 DLC. Separate Ways was about a 5 hour DLC, this being about 3. But it's a good little time. If you enjoyed the base game of Final Fantasy 16, you're going to enjoy this. They didn't add a whole lot of new stuff. Like there's not a new set of spells that you get or anything. You're going to be playing through this DLC. Basically, it's an end game dungeon at the end of the day that you spend $10 on. You're going to be playing with all the abilities that you got through the main game, no new ones. You get a few new items that don't really change things up too well. This attack is my favorite, by the way, Roulette.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really well implemented. But and that's why you should watch this live so you can see what I'm talking about.
It is true.
No real new enemies outside of the bosses. The boss encounters are all fairly new. There's a few reskin enemies that have new movesets, but the major ones, like the big three that they give to you, are completely new bosses, which are extremely well done.
So is this cutting room floor content that they just kind of put back into the game?
I don't know if it's cutting room floor content or not. The storyline is pretty decent, and I don't think it was. It might have been. It's hard to tell. It's from the Final Fantasy 14 team, and we're gonna get into minor spoiler territory with this DLC if you haven't played it already. Just giving you a heads up. Final Fantasy 14 has already done extensive things with the main boss of this DLC, which is Omega.
Oh, Omega, yeah.
So,
interesting.
And they did Omega a decent amount of justice in this DLC. I would not necessarily say it's cutting room floor because the mechanics that they put into at least Sigma and Omega.
That's a weird one for this, considering it's like the medieval times. That's a really weird boss.
The whole plot line, and again, we're gonna get into a little bit of Enigma. Do you want me to hold off on this stuff because I don't want to spoil anything for you because I know you are excited about this.
I mean, considering it's new, yeah, I not just for me but for everybody else. But yeah, that's very strange. That's interesting to me though.
Yeah, there is a high tech society that is
Final Fantasy 14 is the same way too. So it's one of those things where it's like they just kind of do their own thing. So
yeah, I think it's fun if you enjoyed the base game. This is a good little extension of the base game, a nice little end game dungeon. If the base game Pika said, really if you know it for you, then there's not really enough new.
If you know the Omega story from Final Fantasy 14, it probably makes a little bit more sense, I would imagine. But
yeah, because Final Fantasy and Omega's one of those characters in Final Fantasy lore that's kind of like Gilgamesh, where it's alluded to that it's the same Omega just bouncing between realities. So
this looks like a bullet hell.
Yeah,
it does kind of.
Again,
it kind of reminds me of 2B, like the
Automata.
What's that? Automata, yeah, near Automata.
Yeah, it's a good comparison with that, with kind of the projectiles coming at you, especially this boss in general. And then this boss really showed like the Final Fantasy 14
I was literally
mechanics.
Just about to say that. I was literally about to just say that. I was like, man, this looks like an FF14 fucking raid right now.
Yeah. They love
with all
their
the circles and shit. Yeah.
They love their lasers that you have to avoid.
Their lasers that you have to avoid and their line attacks and shit.
Especially that rule that you were showing.
You could not tell me that this game wasn't made by the MMO team just based off how they handle the mechanics.
And it's good. It's probably for the better, honestly. Like their team does an extremely good job.
Yeah, I'm surprised that an action RPG, like those mechanics meld as well into an action RPG as they do, but it's a lot of fun.
I would bet $1 to donut that you are going. This is them testing what Final Fantasy, whatever MMO is next for them, is going to be. Because I see them doing an action combat.
You think they're going to do an action RPG? I mean,
you look at all this, like the bars, the way that the
14 has a lot more life in it. They like Yoshi. I mean, Yoshi has no intention of making a new. At least he's come out and said that he doesn't feel like 14 is at the end of its rope. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. They can obviously have one team working on multiple.
Yeah, because they still support 11.
You see this, right?
Kinda. I mean, 11 is 11 just got new content fucking a couple years ago, which was actually kind of surprising. So
yeah. I mean, I would be okay with it. Like if they made an action RPG like this with an MMO in it, I'd fucking love it, dude. This would be amazing as an MMO. I think.
I think it would too, but I think it would also further alienate the player base that Final Fantasy is kind of already alienating at this point.
I mean, it'd be the same situation that Final Fantasy 11 has with Final Fantasy 14, right? Like when Final Fantasy 14 was made and started becoming popular, if like Final Fantasy 11 players, like the hardcore ones refuse to even acknowledge that 14 is a thing, right? Like they have no interest in playing that because they all, in their eyes, FF11 is their MMO essentially. But like you can say the same thing about people that are hardcore into Final Fantasy 14 when it comes to like World of Warcraft or any other, current day MMORPG.
Look at RuneScape, look at old school RuneScape, look at RuneScape 3, like but I think that
I think you would alienate certain portions of it, but then you wouldn't at the same time because again, like we just talked about, like FF11 is still getting updates. Granted, it's not as many as they used to have, but like FF14 would never not have updates. I don't think,
right.
Final Fantasy 17-esque, like an action combat MMORPG being in the franchise wouldn't necessarily affect Final Fantasy 14.
I think it'll be a couple. Yeah, I think it'll be a couple games before they end up doing.
I don't think
like that because Final Fantasy 12 was the test bed for Final Fantasy 14, and it took a game in between for them to get that game cycle.
I do agree with what you're saying. I do think that this is a test bed for them to be like, hey, we could do a really good job with like an action RPG.
They do like test bedding. Like I said, Final Fantasy 12, perfect example of they like doing test beds with their single player games just to see what reception they get.
And really, I don't even know if like they would need that many games in between, because if you think like they have moved, like one of my biggest complaints about Final Fantasy 4 games like is that they have moved away from the turn-based style. But if I think whatever fucked up little thing in my head when I see this and I think, oh, MMO, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'd fucking do that all day long. But they have
multiplayer,
no single player, absolutely not.
Has a story, no.
But they've been doing it with 15 was action based, right? Like that was an action based system, right? Like they have now 16, so like they I feel like I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm telling you, man, then I guarantee you the next MMO that they are working on is going to be an action-based combat system that is going to use something very similar to this. Because like I'm sitting here watching it and I'm just thinking, dude, this is like, if you look at any MMO trailer that's coming out over the last couple of years, it's all been action combat doing these type of mechanics. It looks like a fucking Lost Ark style, like just or Final Fantasy 14 raid. Like it's I don't know. If they're not doing it, TMing it, we want royalties. I'm fucking telling you, they should do it.
Yoshi P, hit us up.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah. Well, cool. So $10 right now is what you said?
$10 right now, or if you get it with the season pass is $25. I don't know. They haven't announced what Rise of Leviathan's price point is going to be, but it's
have they announced how many DLCs are going to be on that season pass?
They've only announced 2 so far. I don't know if he has plans for more. They weren't even sure if they're going to do DLCs when they initially launched Final Fantasy 16. So,
yeah,
because that was one of his big announcements was, hey, the game's done well enough. We're starting production of DLC. So, congratulations and thank you. So.
It's not just me that he's fucking up for, right?
Yeah, he's going a little robot. Okay. But it's all right.
All right, just wanted to know. All right, well. Kicking it over to me and kind of what I've been playing, we're going to start off with a little bit. Actually, I had to give credit to Scruffy because Scruffy was the one that played this game when it first came out a long time ago. This was, we were talking about Deadside, and it recently had an update, and I don't know what gave me the itch to want to dive into a survival style shooter game. I don't know, but I did. I had an itch. And
I was surprised you found Deadside out of all of them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he had 7 Days to Die.
I ain't mad at
Scum.
It. Trust
he had DayZ. He could have fucking played, but he went.
Deadside's a great game, but I definitely was shy. You're like, hey, you still playing Deadside? I'm like, no, but I will.
I mean, I try. So I don't know. I looked at a bunch of things, and I don't know. So okay, first, let me explain the process of this. When this game first dropped, I was like, this is just a Russian hacking piece of shit that is literally going to just put some kind of spyware malware on my computer and I'm not fucking touching it. Like, there ain't no shot. And I thought that for a very, very, very long time. And the game came out in 2020 or 2021, and it's from what I've been told by the community, it's by one developer. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't think that's true.
They a bunch of people have come in and been like, yeah, it's one single developer. I'm like, okay, cool, well, good for him.
A bunch of people, maybe so. It's Bad Pixel Games. I couldn't find any more information on them, so it could be just one developer under that name.
But they have been solely putting stuff into the game. And so anyway, it was on Steam sale. I looked at a bunch of stuff and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I downloaded it. I got into it. Within 15 seconds, got completely fucking murked by the AI. I was like, fuck this game. This is a piece of trash. I'm uninstalling it and I'm refunding it. Refunded it. My kid came in and was like, hey, I just bought Deadside. You want to play with me? I'm like, fuck. All right, cool. I will buy Deadside back, re-download the game. And we started playing with it. And I'm telling you, it has become, in a way, the survival game that I'm like, wow, I wish these other games would incorporate things that Deadside have, or I would like Deadside to incorporate some of those things, because I really enjoy what they do well in here. And what I think they do well, right? And there's still a lot of issues, but what I think they do well is the pacing of this game. For someone that doesn't want like a hardcore, like, yesterday I jumped into Scum, and I was the one that was like, hey, let's all go back to Scum. And I jumped into Scum, and then I really quickly realized like what the fuck I hate about Scum, which is I spent an hour and a half traversing the map to find out that my character had to fucking shit because I wasn't giving him the proper metabolism things that he had to do, and he fucking died. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I equate this to a PUBG if PUBG had survival. Like if a PUBG was survival, that's what in my mind this is. And what makes this a little bit different than a lot of other survival games is it's very, very light on the survival aspect. Like yes, you do have to eat. Yes, you do have to drink. But it really is about you versus the AI and real people in the world.
Nah, bro. If I have to not, or if I don't have to be a fucking nutritionist,
fuck you, man.
To be able to play this game, I don't want to play it, bro.
Nope, I don't know. Well, this is not the game for you. So
I saw Bill's ears perk up at that. He was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, it's
Bill would do great in Scum.
Bill would do great in Scum. He would, honestly.
Yeah.
Real quick, can one of you guys maybe change the server, by the way, if you can? I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah, I got you.
But it just like, I don't know what's going on my screen. I don't know what's going on with the okay, it fixed it. The game did that once, but it like the thing that I like about it is like there's always something kind of going on. There's these missions that pop up, these helipad things that crashes that go on that you have to go after, cases that go in, AI that's kind of always around. Like you just always feel like there is something happening. You don't have long stints of just nothingness.
It's like I don't know if anybody ever played it, but there's a mode on Arma at both 2 and 3 called Wasteland, and it's very akin to that. Like it's just like all out warfare. You loot, you go to a mission, you kill or die, and then repeat. That's it. Like you just keep doing that. You build your base up, you gather stuff, you go to safe zones, sell stuff. It's just all out warfare pretty much all the time, and it's just like really jump in and jump out because you can get into it like really fast. Within seconds, you can literally spawn back at places and be in it. It's pretty nuts.
But Sin, there's always something to do in Scum as well. You always have to make sure that you're eating well and that you have solid bowel movements, and that you make sure that you're peeing when you need to.
I have no doubt that like I actually, again, same thing with like Ascension. If I would push through, I would actually probably really, really enjoy Scum. But yesterday or 2 days ago yesterday when I was playing, I literally spent I said it on stream. I was like, am I gonna spend my entire time on stream running to this base to try to meet up with these? And for fuck yes, I did. I fucking spent an hour and a half running. I got to, you know what I did? I put on sexy denim shorts and I fucking signed off. I got to the base and signed off, and I was like, okay. Yep. So I and then they had an amazing moment where they were fighting some fucking crazy
we're
mech
doing
shit.
like a raid on a mech place. It was nuts. And so, he signed off right before that.
Yeah. So again, but just what I also like about Deadside is one of the biggest mechanics in these games is like offline raiding and getting raided by other players. And I think Deadside handles this extremely well, unless you have a dumbass that doesn't answer their fucking phone or their direct DMs and kills your teammate that they are in the same team and pops their raid token. But essentially,
I'm sensing a little bit of
oh yes,
contention right
yes, there. Yes. So you have to pop a raid token. Like if you go out in PvP, you have it and you die, you have a chance of dropping a token to your base, and if the player uses that token, it basically puts a huge red circle on everybody's on the server's map and says, hey, and announces that you can raid this base. It doesn't tell you exactly where the base is at.
But like surely when this person, I'm not going to name names, but when this person killed that person, right? Wouldn't it tell him what person he killed?
It tells them what person they killed. Yes.
Well, when this person killed that person, they didn't know the name of that person.
Scruffy's our friend.
This person
killed my sons in this game and popped the raid token.
I wasn't looking at who he killed, and he may have. I don't know.
And literally, I was calling, I was texting, and here's the kicker, guys. Here's the fucking kicker. Scruffy and Grayton left the goddamn like our base and team and clan so that they wouldn't fucking have the chance of popping our fucking raid token.
Well, we left because we didn't want, if we died while we were doing our own thing, we didn't want our base to be raided from our deaths when we were off doing our own thing. So I mean, in theory, it was a good idea. We were not expecting
it was a great idea, just a poor execution. Yeah,
the execution was an unexpected scenario. That was definitely not what we had in mind.
But
in the end, I mean, it was all okay, and we actually came out on top of a lot of the situation.
We defended the base, and it was fine.
And we got some loot out of it. But
it's very. I love that mechanic. I love the fact that like I don't have to, like right now, no one's on. I don't have to worry about our base getting raided. Like it is it's only when that shit's going on.
Impenetrable.
Right. Which is really, really nice. And so I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's $20. When I first saw it, I was like, I'm not spending $20 on this. It's not worth it. I 100% like change my mind and say like right now with the content that's in there, if you like if you liked PUBG, but you like survival games and you want a fast-paced survival-esque style game, but you don't want a BR, this is it. Like go pick this up. I'm telling you right now, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Like for $20, it's an instant buy for me. So I've enjoyed the shit out of it. Scruffy, I don't know if you want to add anything to it.
No, you've pretty much said it all. Like I said, everything that you've talked about is what I love about the game too. And they keep on updating, really. They just added a whole new like large sector to the map, which added a huge town, the biggest town in the map now, like a city-sized town. It's really sweet. And to be honest, when I played this game originally, like back in, it was like 2020. I played it for a little bit. I played it for maybe 20-ish hours. I enjoyed it at the time, but I could tell like it was not where it should have been, and so I gave it up. And after that, I was like, well, it was fun. I did not expect it to keep going. I thought it was going to be a game that flaked, and they didn't keep up with it. But they did, and they've shown it because they're still going and have a better player base than a lot of these survivals do at this stage in the game. So, yeah, I definitely can speak good on it too right now. It's good.
I'm excited for what's to come. For sure. All right. So another game that I picked up and played, or one of the many, but the one I wanted to also talk about was a game called Quasimorph.
Which is that one you were telling me about. I didn't look at it. This is my first time seeing it.
So Quasimorph, super into this game, playing it a lot on my Steam Deck, a lot of like offline, but really, 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 really love in love with this game. So, okay. It is a single player roguelike top-down extraction turn-based shooter. So it's all of those things. But the premise behind it is that you are basically a clone working for this PMC company, that you go down to these planets and you're basically just grabbing shit, completing missions, getting coins, getting things. You take back up to your ship, you fly to the next mission, and then you kind of continue on. And then if you die, you lose everything that your clone had on you, and you restart. And each time, and your clone levels up and gets new powers and new abilities and new things and all this kind of stuff. And it and that's it. But it is a turn-based system. So like what you're seeing here is like I'm moving throughout the world, and I'm step by step by step. But like I will go into, once I get into combat, it will then turn into where I'll move and then my enemy moves, and you can do things like days. You have like line of sight, cover. I mean, all of the really dope.
It's given Stone Shard. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Just the style, like not the game itself, but like the turn-based and like top-down style they got going on. Definitely giving me that.
I could definitely see it. And
the game
then
was hard though.
This game is this game is also extremely difficult, and they don't warn you about shit. It's just kind of like any kind of other extraction shooter. They just throw you into the shit and say, "Hey, figure it out." But because I was playing one mission and I was like, "Cool," and they gave me a turret. But they don't tell you that if you put the turret down, you can't get around the fucking turret. And so I put the turret down in a spot that I couldn't get around, and I couldn't dismantle the turret. So I was like, well, I guess that ends my run. So I just dropped a grenade at my feet and fucking killed myself so I could continue on. But if you're a fan of like roguelikes or even extraction shooters or extraction games, I really recommend this. It's Quasimorph. You can find it on Steam. I don't know if it's also on. Well, there's the reason that it's called Quasimorph is because there's a chance, and you can also get an ability that mutates you into a Quasimorph, and you get a whole nother set of abilities. But you have to basically continuously eat corpses to, at least the one that when I morphed. I don't know if this is everyone, but yeah, you have to eat corpses to stay alive, and if you don't, then your character dies. So like that's where the name comes into play, I guess. I don't know, but
interesting.
Is
there any constant progression like that? If you die, you keep anything or not?
Well, yeah. So like whenever you take your stuff, like, so whenever you extract, you go back to your ship, you drop whatever you don't want to take with you, and then you go down to the next mission or whatever else, and then you continue on. So yes, you could, like, you loot guns, you'll loot, gear or whatever else, and you'll drop it in a base. And then also too, as you progress, you'll unlock more abilities and things like that your next character, if he dies, learns that they can put points into or whatever else. But everything you see on the screen right here, like all of these things, explosives, whatever, I can just dump onto my my base or my ship, and then my next character will get that as well. So it's a lot of fun, man. Nice. It's a phenomenal game. Again, another one I found on the Steam. You'd have to give me a sec. Yeah. Quasimorph. It is still 20%. Yep, still on sale right now. So $16.
$20 originally.
Yep. Highly recommend it if you like these types of games. Or just like top down or turn based or roguelikes or extraction games. Kind of fits the bill for all of them. So really
very nice.
Yep. And then the other game I've been playing, which I'm not going to show, is Street Fighter 6. I got my new stick.
Yeah. What's your main?
Yeah. Right now, so I'm still like very much.
You're a Jury main, aren't you?
Not yet. I'm a Luke main. I think it's
a Luke main. Okay, that's respectable.
It's just mainly because I need to learn the game. Like, and
Luke's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just he's all upper body. Doesn't really do much with lower. You don't have to really worry about kicks too much. And
meanwhile, yeah, like Jury, Cammy, Chun-Li, they're all kicks all the day.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I am enjoying the fuck out of that game, man. I'm enjoying
the hell out of it. What character do you hate fighting the most?
It's the dude with the fucking cane. I don't know his name, but he's like that older dude with the cane. Man. Yeah, that fucker has some shit that like that, and the new chick that is like poison based.
He's a zoner, right?
Yes, he's a zoner, and then also the poison chick. She's a pain in the ass too. Because like it's very. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the names
with
yet.
Like the Sia haircut and the nails.
Yes, yeah. But it got, dude, playing the game, and it got me right into fucking watching the Championship Cup, like they just had their Capcom Cup event, and I don't know, man. I'm hooked again, dude. I'm fucking hooked back into fighting games. I fucking love it. So, yep. Scruffy, did you have any gameplay that you wanted to show off?
No, I was just gonna kind of bounce off y'all and with Deadside, and that was it pretty much.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to move on to news in this next section, and one of our this very specific news article we put in here for one person and one person alone, and his name is Stevens. Stevens, this is for you, buddy. The new season of League of Legends has dropped, and here's the cinematic. Yeah,
been hearing a lot of people say that this cinematic is like, bar none, like one of the best cinematics League of Legends has ever made. Like,
I think it was good.
Ever.
I don't think it was one of their best.
I think it's pretty damn good.
I think it was pretty good. I'm not saying anything. It wasn't bad in any terms.
Wait, is that Tyrannamere?
It's by far the best like visual fidelity trailer that they put out. Like Tryndamere looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like all the characters look really good. I was genuinely impressed with
I did get some chills at some moments. There were some moments that were pretty good.
Yeah. They this part with Kayle and Morgana. Like this I think this was
Aatrox looks bad fucking ass in this.
This was good. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Yasuo part. I think that was the only downside for the trailer for me.
I was trying to figure out who he was at first. I didn't recognize him.
Yasuo.
And so I thought, could that be Jax? Like under the, because he had a bow staff at first. And so that made me think, is that Jax? But no, then he did the wind wall. I'm like, oh, okay, it's Yas.
That's Morgana.
Yeah. That's Morgana.
Yeah, Kayle and Morgana. It'll
honestly,
make sense
like
more.
this entire thing, like I was watching it, and this entire thing like brings me to like World of Warcraft, and I'm just like, dude, like if they can continue this,
has some what's her fuck energy here.
Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Also, this look that Kayle gives her as she's passing by, fuck that bitch, dude. Fuck
she's
Kayle.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. I fought this for so long. I mean, I knew I was going to come back during the season, this new season, because there's enough changes that I wanted to. Is this Yasuo? Fuck him, dude. Is that Yasuo?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
But you can see why I thought that was Jax at first. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Because they don't show the face. He's got the hat on. He's got a bow staff.
And he's old
I
as
honestly
fuck.
thought it was Jax too.
Yeah.
I was like, are they doing a Jax face reveal right now?
Yeah, I was like, that's huge, but just
I just don't like that they're adding fucking Vanguard to the damn client.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that they're adding Vanguard.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that they'll backtrack on it.
They're not
I don't think they will.
There's no shot.
Because that's
I mean, we can go ahead and talk about that while we're watching this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, Vanguard is Riot's own custom anti-cheat software. They're wanting to put their own version of anti-cheat into League of Legends. Vanguard is also a kernel-based anti-cheat. So
is that Valorant?
It gives the anti-cheat like base, like level 0 access to your computer, which a lot of people have issues with, because if the anti-cheat gets compromised, then hackers have a rootkit into your computer. Luckily, it's not as bad as it was back when Vanguard originally launched. It is only active when the game is on. But
is that true?
Yeah, but here's the kicker with that though. Like Enigma said yesterday night, is that because of their integration with the Xbox app, if you have the Xbox app, it launches the Vanguard system. Like it launches the Riot client.
They did Kindred fucking awesome. What? Look at that, dude. Fucking Wolf looks like a beast.
And the fact that it's Tryndamere that's fighting them is
perfect. She looks dope, and the beast looks fucking sick, man. I don't know how you can say that this doesn't look fucking amazing. Like this looks like
keep
I said, this
keep watching, because
it does.
You're about
amazing.
you're just about to have an aha moment.
Yeah, this looks like
oh, that's nasty, dude. That gave me chills. I'm not gonna let it.
Yeah, man. Boom, and then there's
crazy,
his woman.
Dude.
There she is.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
need an
This
MMO,
reminds
bro.
me.
I need it badly.
This reminds me of like the new school. And like I like the old school Blizzard cinematics and everything like that, but their new stuff that they've been putting out is fucking shifts.
I'm just saying it's not
amazing.
their best because they didn't have any echo in it. So like if they
Oh,
would
get the
have
fuck out of here. Nobody
Yeah, I
wants to
mean
see
they didn't
Echo.
have any Sen in it, so yeah, it is ass. You're right.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying. Like,
But no, I like the Tryndamere Kindred fight because I
that
figure
was really
Kindred
good
fucking despises Tryndamere for just defying death whenever he wants to. So
yeah.
It's
crazy, man. Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I'm like I really don't want to deal with the Vanguard shit, but like I want to play the new season. I've been talking to you guys about playing the new season for months now.
But we announced it last year that we were doing it.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, god damn it. I'm in. Fuck it. I'll download
and
it again.
like the new map changes and the no longer having to deal with mythics and shit. From what I hear,
no mythics is great.
The new
balance
the
on
new
both
system,
the
yeah. The new system without the mythics people are loving it, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure that mid laners are going to be super fucking thrilled because they moved the bushes back, so it's not going to be Gang City in mid lane anymore.
One of the whole lanes is it now comes out at the tower instead of in front of the tower, so that totally negates. There's only really two viable gank lanes on each side of mid lane now, and of course you still have the river on both sides, but it's a lot pushed back. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, mid for low movement characters is a lot safer now.
Yeah, and then top lane they made it more of an island. They cut one of the gank paths out entirely. So
let's be real. The best part about this season, they made it so that my girl Senna doesn't have to be trapped into her goddamn mythic. I can actually make my crit Senna builds again.
Well, didn't also too they made like off meta building or off meta just and stuff an actual more viable thing, because I think they also said that like supports now, if you last hit we get gold. Like there was something about last hit.
Well, they changed the support items so that it's no longer like if you, I can't remember what exactly the change is, but like the new support item
all
is
the support items. What support item is what they did?
Yeah,
so
you both get you also both get, I think you both get gold for it if you last hit enemies.
You both get gold, although the support gets less gold. The support also gets gold anytime that they hit an enemy champion. They basically combined the knife and the shield into one.
Yeah. And it's really good for like supports like me where I'm not necessarily like this. Yeah, I'm more of an ADC than a support. I just don't like last hitting. Yeah. So that's what I have my support during this off. That's what I have my support Sinan for.
Me and Enigma really kind of came to a thing of being like, you do realize, like, honestly, if he would just learn how to last it, I'd probably actually like supporting, because I play the characters that like legit are just support characters. Like, just last hit, man. I love the fact that Stevens is just like, it's gonna be great when it's fucking over.
Stevens is seeing the fucking next like 6 months and go flashing before his eyes, like, fuck, dude. Oh joy!
I thought it was done. Stevens, I gave you a good amount of time off from that, dude. Come on. Yeah, fuck it, I'll download it. Even people at my work are like, I want to play, so I'm like, I might as well.
Sin is like you that Rick and Morty meme, like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah,
dude, I'm still just amazed at how fucking badass they made Kindred.
Yeah, I'm ready for the League cinematic universe. Like, the game can go to hell for all I care, but like, if they put out more quality content like this, like Arcane, like all of that stuff, they've already announced that they're making Arcane like
season 2.
They came out with a little teaser trailer. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they've also announced that they're making another one.
Yeah, they're making us they're restructuring the lore of League again, but they're basing it around Arcane, and this is supposedly going to be like the final canon flip of like League in general. They're making Arcane canon and all of that shit, and then reworking the lore and
that's
stuff.
also supposed to lead into the MMO. There was a rumor that I saw that like they're basing the lore off of Arcane, and the purpose of retconning everything to Arcane is because Arcane is going to be the anchor point for the fighting game, for the MMO, and then for everything else kind of going forward. So
that'd be really cool, honestly. I would.
We want to talk about the new character while we're on League. Just get League out of the way.
You want to talk about babyface Smolder?
They fixed Babyface.
Yeah,
Babyface isn't that Babyface anymore.
Oh, it's so bad, dude. That character.
He actually looks really good, and from what I hear, he's broken his shit right now.
They're
so
always
I'm sure
broken.
They're gonna fucking nerf him. But
what are you
especially new ADCs.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he does look fun. He does look really good.
More bestial features to the face, so that he doesn't look like a child's face on a dragon.
It was so weird. It was
Spyro.
Sonic level of weird.
It's basically Spyro. I'm surprised that they're getting away with it because it is essentially Spyro.
It looks like Spyro, yeah. It's my first time I'm seeing it.
I'm surprised how fast they did it. It was literally 24 hours, and they were like, "We fixed the face."
That's because they had it in the back. They knew. They fucking knew what they were doing. Either somebody uploaded the wrong fucking file or somebody did it on purpose.
So somebody uploaded the April Fool's file.
I just found it.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
His voice does sound like I will give that to the voice character. The character that voiced him fucking did amazing. The voice lines are awesome, but it sounds
that's why I'm shocked. That's why I'm shocked that they can do it. Like I would have thought that.
Oh come on! If we can have Pal World come out, we can have fucking Spyro and League. It's fine. So
yeah,
I'm just waiting for especially with the relationship.
Is he supposed to be a mid laner?
No, he's an ADC.
He's an ADC.
ADC. I haven't seen this. I was literally first time seeing him.
Yeah, he's an ADC. He's got abilities that he's a constantly what's it called? He's like Senna or the little mage guy. He's just like a constantly scaling ADC.
It's
like
not
his abilities
scaling.
stack. Did they put a limit on it? Because the last that I had heard, it was constant.
You can gain points into it like permanently, but his Q only changes 3 times. Once you hit that top level of Q, it doesn't change anymore.
But his power still scales. He's like Senna. He constantly scales with how many souls or whatever he uses.
Does he? I thought it was just like I thought the souls were just
to
hit break points.
No, the more times that he uses his ability, from what I understand, the more times that he uses his Q and shit, it builds up like stacks on his abilities, and it's just constant. I don't know if they've put a
right there. Each stack increases the damage of his basic abilities. Okay.
Yep. So he's like Senna. He's like Vigar. He's a constantly scaling ADC, which is crazy because I would have thought they would have learned their lesson with Senna and Vigar, but apparently.
Bro, fuck Yasuo. This makes me hate Yasuo.
Or Nasus.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
season 14 also adding. Good. They're also adding that one chick from Arcane into the game. The one mother, the Noxian general.
Oh yeah.
The big buff lady.
Yeah. Yep.
They've confirmed that she's going to be the character release for the summer.
She gonna be a mid laner.
I figure she'll be a top
probably gonna be a bruiser.
Bruiser, yeah, that's what I imagine.
I know also
she's probably
too
gonna be like what's the tentacle lady?
Alawi.
Yeah, I imagine that's how she'll be.
I also know that they are Shyvana's getting a rework, kind of like Udyr. The whole like
really?
what do they call it? The what do they call those? The it's like where they update the whole like everything about
visual rework.
Visual rework, yeah. But it's a whole rework. It's a whole thing.
That's a whole rework, yeah.
Just a rework, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, that is the
League of
League news. So Stevens, you can wake back up. Hey, wake up, Stevens. It's time to wake up. We're coming back. All right. Well, we are going to go on to Final Fantasy. We've talked a lot about Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy,
Bill's not here.
Okay, well he can come back, but Final Fantasy. Fine, I'll go to here first. We'll talk about City of Heroes.
Yeah, go to the other ones until Bill comes back. Yeah.
So okay, for me and Scruffy, this is big fucking news. This is huge.
Can I just can I burst your guys' bubbles really quickly?
No.
Can I just? It's not gonna happen.
No.
Stop.
This is huge. Okay, so City of Heroes, it was an NCSoft property. If you're not familiar with City of Heroes, it's an MMO that came out back in 2012. No. It ended support back in 2012. It came out.
And if you're not familiar with NCSoft, they're a shit company that cancels and stops good games.
Yes, all over the place, and holds the rights to these things forever. Yeah. So there is a private server that has been going on, which happens with a lot of MMOs that either die or whatever else. We just talked about one, Ascension, right? City of Heroes, what is it? the full name, Homecoming, was the fan supported server. Technically, by law, they're really not supposed to do this, but most companies kind of go, we don't really care. Well, why this is such a big deal is because NCSoft actually said, you know what, it's cool, like, you're good. We are giving you the official okay and license to continue to make content, to make new content, to run the server, to basically run the game. Like, they said yes. Do I give a fuck about City of Heroes? Absolutely not. Am I going to fucking download this? 100,000%. Do I give a fuck as to whether or not City of Heroes continues to be successful? No. But everybody, I fucking loved it. I don't know if you saw it, Scruffy, but everybody started saying, oh yeah, where's WildStar?
Everyone, dude, like you did.
It's in the trash can.
Did. Oh man, all the old WildStar streamers, everybody was popping in.
I fucking can't, dude. It has to happen, right? Like there is a private server, but it's like a sold. Like I feel like I would give this dude a kiss if I could. Like it's like one dude just like kind of bumming along. Please, either something like a team get behind this guy or somebody just pick this fucking game up and please let WildStar come back. I need it in my life. Like I want it in my life. Like the only thing I'm asking you to fix is the bot problem. Like you fix the bot problem and I'm good. But dude, fuck, we could go back to when we first met, Scruffy.
I know.
Cheers.
It's a little glimpse. I'm really
can't go back home, guys.
I can't. This proves I can. It's literally called City of Heroes Homecoming. I can come back home.
I'm so shocked that NCSoft went and did this.
It was shocking. It came out of left field too. Like nobody, like they were just like, okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
have at it. Which is not something that's common for NCSoft.
Honestly, I don't know how big City of Heroes was.
It was popular. City of Heroes was extremely popular.
I'm sure it definitely was a popular game. I'm just like, but why did they choose City of Heroes over WildStar to do this? Why?
Well, because City of Heroes has a WildStar. I don't know. I can't argue yes or no on that. I don't know
how big the fan bases are comparatively.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about peak to peak, yes, I will say 100%. But I think it's because City of Heroes Homecoming was a fan supported server that was up and running. Like it had been going on.
Yeah,
like it's got a good place.
It's got a good company. It's got a.
Did we lose Enigma?
Uh-oh.
Okay. NCSoft got to you, bud.
Got a good player base.
Yeah,
I imagine that's what he was getting.
He got hit with a direct takedown notice.
Yeah.
But I think that this is why I was saying WildStar needs to have
NCSoft shut Enigma down.
WildStar needs to have a
payback.
Silence me, goddamn.
Dude.
Fuck you, NCSoft.
I'm just thinking about so much fun I could be having with fucking playing WildStar again.
I know.
Oh,
we give everything up.
I would like to experience this game that you guys have talked about on end for the past 4 years that I've never got to experience.
You would love it, though. I have no doubt in my mind.
I like the humor is so good. Like the gameplay is great. I'm telling you right now, I've said it for the longest and I'll continue to say it. That game came out before its prime. If that shit would have hit now, fuck, dude. Like it would have fucking succeeded. I guarantee you it would have succeeded. With hardcore WoW, people want to go back to classic, all that shit. They want to do attunement, they want to do all that garbage, all that. Oh my fucking god, dude. It would have popped. So please, NCSoft. This podcast solely has made so many things come into existence. So many things happen. You don't even know as viewers. So many things we have predicted. I'm saying, I'll put it right now. NCSoft will allow for WildStar to come back in a fan-made server, or a server is going to come back and we're going to get WildStar back. Fuck Enigma. I don't give a fuck what he says. It's coming back,
bro.
It's coming back.
It ain't happening, man.
It's coming back.
It is.
I mean, having both sides of the coin, we have both answers right. So
that's true. That is true.
Oh, all right. Well, let's talk about another MMO that nobody cares about. Final Fantasy 14.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just kidding. Final Fantasy 14. They had their like an event, right? Wasn't it like their fan event?
It's their fan fest. Yeah, they have a fan fest every year that they do a lot of like releases and announcements. I wasn't even on this, man. Bill and his community. I was playing fucking D&D, and Bill was like, "Enigma, what are you doing right now? Why aren't you watching this?"
I was hyped, dude. I was very excited. Like my peeps have been playing Final Fantasy 14. I've got Brit into it. Like we're all vibing
I've
with
seen
it.
You, bro.
None of us.
You want to know who you haven't invited? This guy. Oh, this guy right here.
You know why? Because I've been having to travel to. No, I've been having to travel to their server. They're playing on Primal. So
Wow.
I've been visiting them the entire time. And none of us are anywhere close to playing Dawn Trial, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming in here. I mean, I changed my dragon chick into a bunny boy, by the way.
Oh, did you? We can't be friends anymore.
Wait. You knowingly chose to go from a dragon to a bunny?
To a femboy bunny, yeah, pretty much.
Dude, my bunny boy is awesome. You hold your tongue.
Great. 2024, then Bill gets to be the fucking furry lover, not me. My title is gone.
Your title's pretty significantly cemented in the history books of the Prefetch
podcast. Get out of it that easily.
Bullshit. Well, okay. The people that like Final, it's not that I don't like Final Fantasy. People that keep up with Final Fantasy, please talk about Dawn Trail. And what? Because they released the new class as well as the painter, the Pictomancer.
Pictomancer.
So let's character from Lost Ark.
Before we go into oh my god, dude! I was about to say. Before we go into that, I want to talk about the better, somewhat better portion of the announcement. Like they announced the what? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Huh?
They I'm getting distracted by Discord. They announced the is the Beastmaster? Yeah, Beastmaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Beastmaster. So if you guys know from Final Fantasy 11, Beastmaster was like a fan favorite. Like people loved the Beastmaster. It was a very, very popular class. The only problem that I have with it, and I'm glad that they're bringing it in, because like the what were they called? Limited jobs. The limited jobs need more content. And I think this is a way to force them to make more content for it. But limited jobs are essentially the Blue Mage. If you guys know anything about the Blue Mage, the Blue Mage was the first limited job. It's a great class. Unfortunately, they did not do it very good justice in Final Fantasy 14. Limited jobs are jobs that cannot participate with other jobs, essentially. So you can't take a Blue Mage or a Beastmaster into a dungeon group with other, like, regular classes like the ninja or anything like that.
Has to be all Blue Mages.
Has to be all Blue Mages, and I'm assuming it can now be all Blue Mages
because they fundamentally break the game.
They do, yeah. The abilities that the Blue Mage can get can be pretty.
That's dumb.
Pretty OP, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same way for Beastmaster.
Yeah, because you're basically playing Pokemon, from what I was able to gather.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. You go over there, you kill. At least for the Blue Mage, you kill. Like monsters inside of dungeons. You go out and kill monsters inside of the open world and everything like that, and you get the abilities from those monsters, and some of those abilities are crazy OP. So I'm assuming, again, it's going to be the same way for the Beastmaster. You're going to go out there, tame beasts that are going to be insanely OP. I can only imagine like being able to tame Ifrit.
Beastmasters are not pet
fucking
classes?
Insane, dude. They're not. Okay, what are they? Are they summoners?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense then. Transform into monster-like forms based on the monster in question.
Like a druid?
I was not aware of that.
That sounds like the fucking Blue Mage. That's the Blue Mage with extra steps. What the hell?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. But anyways, so yeah, that's the new limited job, right? And then they also announced the female Hrothgar, which, okay, that's cool. I don't.
Fem dummy mommy kitties.
Sure. I mean, it looks like just a female. It looks like a female. What are the giant dudes called? I forget their names.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Hrothgar. No, not Hrothgars. I don't remember what they're.
I don't know why I'm even trying to fucking get into this. Oh, the Galkas.
Yeah. Your character. Yeah, they look like the female of that race, just with a bunch of fur. So, and then finally, the Pictomancer.
Yeah. There you go.
the Pictomancer.
I like it. I think
I don't know how to feel about this, man.
I think job wise it's cool. I think the abilities are going to be interesting. I think it will be, if nothing else, a good job, like ability wise and like on paper. I think it'll be.
I don't doubt it. Yeah,
I think it'll be a really fun to play mage job. It'll probably be a little bit complicated.
Final Fantasy 14's like that development team does an extremely good job on all of their jobs. Like I'm not gonna lie, like all of their jobs feel enjoyable to play.
Yeah. But I can understand where people have issues with the aesthetic of the character. Me personally, so I like the character more because of that clashing aesthetic. There's something about like I like purposeful clash, and this feels like a purposeful clash. But I can understand where people are saying that
that's my biggest issue with it is if you click on that and watch it,
as cartoony as what the trailer makes. Like these don't look that bad. Like,
did you say it doesn't look cartoony when that shit looked like a goddamn cell shaded?
I think they look cartoony. Extremely cartoony. Yeah.
Are they like adding extra effects in this trailer?
They probably are, but the actual like ability right there with the red, I'm pretty sure that's
going to be in game.
Yeah, that's what's going to be in game. I think
they do look pretty cartoony.
Those are extremely cartoony, and when it comes down to like, that's my biggest issue with the entire thing. Like, I'm sure the class is going to be amazing. I will play it. I will probably enjoy it. The problem that I have is just like the aesthetic of Final Fantasy 14 is very muted, right? Like their color scheme is very muted. It's like grays, very muted colors.
Done
right?
This is just
bright, just huge. Yeah,
exactly. They should have done an art style comparative to like Guild Wars 2. Like that washed out kind of like
exactly.
They had if they would have done something like this is way too vibrant, I think.
Look at that. There was a furry on the next coming up next.
Yeah.
Why?
I think love these fun. Styles and I think
that
classes.
this DLC is gonna have a lot more
and
color to it. I think this is going to be more flavor of like because Dawn Trial is supposed to be the start of a whole new arc, right?
So so the new area is supposed to be like the start of an entirely new like storyline and like story arc for Final Fantasy 14, and they are going into an area that's very very heavily inspired by like Aztec and like Mesopotamia ruins and everything like that, which those areas do generally have like very bright colors, but like very bright reds, very bright blues, right? Like that's generally the scheme of like that style, right? So it makes sense, but at the same time, when you take a look at it in like the aspect of like the Viper in comparison to the Pictomancer, which the Viper is the melee job that's coming out, the Viper is very much rooted in the old style of Final Fantasy 14, right? So it's very jarring for me, at least, when I go from the Viper to holy shit, that's bright, why is it so cartoony?
Yeah.
So
it's a bit out of place.
I know that we said that like we made the joke about Lost Ark having it first, but I will say that watching the Lost Ark, like I don't know, I forgot what they're called, but it's basically
just the artist.
It's the artist or whatever.
It is.
Yeah. I love the way that they implement that like the art style into like, to me that's where they should have done here. Like I think that it's a beautifully done way, like artistic way of bringing that. I don't know. I mean, again, whatever. It's, hey, if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. But
yeah, like people are saying, that's my biggest issue with it is like the new area will still fit into like the aesthetics of and world of Final Fantasy 14, but the Pictomancer just doesn't seem like it fits very well. Granted, again,
is this a main class?
They're also implementing a cyberpunk style raid dungeon in the next.
Well, that's
DLC
again, that's not all that dungeons, new, because like if you know about like the raids and stuff, yeah, like we talked about the Final Fantasy 16 stuff, right? Like that entire portion with that was very reminiscent of like very high tech, very futuristic, very
Magitech's always been a part of this universe, though.
So it has, and it's been a part of Final Fantasy 14 in general, but the Magitech in Final Fantasy 14 prior to that was still very, I want to say like medieval in nature, right? It's still very cyberpunk-esque in a medieval style, but it's not like, holy shit, what the fuck is that doing here, right? That's my biggest issue with it. I'm still excited for it. I think it's going to be a good expansion.
To play these classes, do you have to get to the expansion to be able to
generally
unlock them?
Yes. Generally, yes. I'm not sure about the unlocking for Viper and Pictomancer, but I would assume, given most of the other ones, you probably have to, but maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. Thomas is saying no. So
I think they decided, like, after the machinist and stuff, that was the last classes that they were going to.
I mean, it's a good idea. Honestly,
walking behind new area.
Okay, you need to own the expansion pack and reach the level. Okay, so yes, you do.
But you don't have to get to the new.
Yeah, the
content.
Heavensward classes were the only ones where you had to get to the content.
Reach the
You just have to get to the level of the expansion.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a good idea, because like that is one of the biggest things with Heavensward that pissed off a lot of people, was just like the sheer difficulty of trying to get a hold of like Dark Knight and everything like that. Like it was a very jarring and very annoying aspect of the game. So I'm glad to see that they're actually like moving things in a better direction. So
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about moving in another direction and rumors that are coming up. I don't know where that segue is going, but the new Switch 2 is supposedly leaked and is going to have a price hike and possible release dates. Obviously, we have known for a while and speculated that the Switch 2 is coming. We just didn't really know kind of a lot about behind. I mean, there's always Nintendo patents fucking things left and right. I mean, they patent a circular screen. They've patent fucking. I've seen them patent like ball controllers. It's wild. But the rumors that are coming out right now and that are pretty, everyone is kind of agreeing on, or pretty spot on, is basically that there are going to be two modes for this, which is going to be a digital only and a standard edition. The digital only is going to retail at $400, and the regular edition will retail at $450. And it's rumored that it's supposed to drop on September 24th with a possible fallback date of the 3rd of November of this year. It will have rumored to have AR as features. And lack an OLED. I don't know if that's true. What I've heard is that it will have an OLED screen, because I heard that that's one of the reasons for the price hike for this as well, because people are kind of pissed.
I heard all the price was gonna, like, I heard that they got rid of the OLED because of the price point already being expensive. They didn't want to raise it more. That was the rumor that I heard.
See, I thought okay,
because the tech's supposed to be able to play 1440p.
Okay.
I mean, so it would be even more expensive with an OLED. So they'll probably come out they'll probably come out with another OLED edition that's even more pricey than this.
Well, I mean, that's what they did with the regular Switch.
There will be there will be an OLED version eventually, but they didn't want the launch of it to be like price hiked by
$400 is still a fucking.
That's still a lot for a handheld.
That's not. Hold on, it's not fair to call it a handheld, because it also is a home system. Like,
yeah, it's both, but still.
I mean, it's.
I don't know.
I mean, predominantly people are going to use it as a handheld, but
I don't primarily
know if that's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I
probably use the Switch 25% of the time in handheld mode, and then the rest of it I have plugged in and use a Pro controller.
What did the first Switch come out at? Like 300?
It was a $299 price.
Is that a 250 or something like that?
Or they're $299. I don't know.
It was cheaper,
but still, yeah.
Well, this is like Steam Deck price right here, and I think you get a better deal from the Steam Deck than you do a fucking
Steam
Switch.
It's still well out of the realm of Steam Deck, but maybe old, like the original model Steam Deck pricing.
Well, a lot of this is also going to. So, what's going to also depend on that is, you have the new MSI cloth that's coming out, which is the new portable PC. Like, this is the year CES is launching, and portable PCs have been all over the fucking place. Like, there are going to be, that we know of, there are 4 portable or handheld PCs that are launching.
Hold on. No, Steam Deck is $399 for the base model.
It is now.
Right, it is now, but it wasn't when it first came out. Wasn't it like close to 500?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Again, we're talking about this new version, $400 versus $399 for a Steam Deck. I think
so
you get a
you're
better
saying
deal
the
off a Steam
current, the
Deck.
current like original model.
I'm not
Steam
talking
Deck
about the
is a
old
better-
one. I'm talking
is a
about the
better
new
deal.
one.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would,
the new what? What
The new-
what new?
The new Steam Deck is
New Steam
$399.
Deck. comparative to the
Steam Deck OLED?
Switch 2.
No, the
No
base
way.
model of the Steam
Well,
Deck LCD is $399.
That's the old, right? But that's the old model. There's an OLED model and there's an old model of the Steam Deck. The old
Yes,
model.
that's
Steam
what
Deck,
I'm saying. The base LCD is $399.
right? But
The OLED is $549.
okay. Okay. What he's comparing, Bill, is basically this releasing now at that price against the Steam Deck now. I think what we're talking about is what the price of the Steam Deck was when it first launched.
I'm not
versus-
talking about original. Like obviously the original one was far more expensive than the original Steam Deck or the original Nintendo Switch. The new one though, this one right here, not having an OLED, either way, is still more
It's not
expensive
new,
than the
though.
LCD.
They just dropped the price on the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whenever the OLED came out, they dropped the price. But regardless, the Steam Deck comparatively is most likely a better deal for
unless you're a
good
Nintendo
chunk of
fan.
players. Unless you're a Nintendo fan.
Unless you're a Nintendo fan, yeah.
Enigma's he's a Nintendo show now.
I
right?
am. I
Ever
am
since you
indeed.
got your Switch.
He's actually
No.
already got a spot in
Sure.
line for this. He's
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
3
I
of them
think
on order right now.
Yeah.
I think the AR aspect might be kind of cool, but we'll see if that is a true leak and what kind of stuff developers get into.
I
This-
imagine it is.
too, 'cause the
Nintendo
first
loves their
console
AR
jump-
stuff.
Yeah, this is the first console jump that Nintendo's done where they haven't fundamentally changed the console itself. This is the first 2 that they did. I mean, the Wii U kind of was a 2, but not really.
I mean, that's
So-
it. That's if what we get, if all of these leaks are true and there's nothing else there. Because I've also heard dual screen.
Like the DS, that'd be
kind
weird.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that there's supposed to be a dual screen. I mean, there's the AR thing is something I've heard quite a bit. I don't know if I trust. Nintendo does a lot of wacky shit and they like to, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's really great that they're like, hey, like, we're going to make a game that you're going to build shit out of fucking cardboard. Like, and we're going to legitimately sell recycled cardboard. I don't know if you guys remember, but that was a game.
I remember that.
You know, and then they had like the thing where like, hey, we're going to set up like a remote control car, like a Mario Kart in your house and you can play it from your
That was
Switch.
pretty cool.
Yeah, again, cool thing, but like they love to like do this and then like and then just drop it, right? And just be like, fuck it. We tried it and it didn't work, which is again fine. But if it is a flagship thing that you're saying, hey, we have AR, and you just kind of throw it out there and then just fucking leave it like Xbox did with what do you call it? Cortana or the what's their fucking bar that they had? Kinect. That piece of shit. Like I mean it I don't know.
I guess it comes down to how many like companies want
Actually
to jump
do it.
on the and want to like engage with the AR stuff that they're offering. So if that's true,
AR is very niche, it seems. But
Yeah. Well, because
It
even on like
is.
even if you look at the Quest, like the Meta 3,
yeah.
I mean the AR stuff on there is really great, but it's still like I mean it's just few and far between because it's just and
Yeah.
maybe this will like I don't know push it to the
I highly
forefront,
doubt
but
it'll
I just
push
don't see
anything.
that. Like I don't I don't know. $400 is Nintendo people are going to be a little sticker shocked, I think, when they look at this one. But I don't know.
If the
They'll buy
leaks
it.
are true.
Yeah, if it is true. So, all right. Well, moving on from leaks, let's talk about things that are being shut down. The better half of this podcast is going to be talking about the downside of this industry, unfortunately. But Minecraft.
We've only got like 5 minutes. What are you
Okay, I'm
talking-
a speed run through the shit. All right, Minecraft Legends development ends less than a year after launch. Is anybody really surprised
Yeah.
about this?
This no, honestly, this surprised me. Honestly, this actually did surprise me because they put a lot of effort and a lot of like work into like the like pushing this to the masses, and then after it released, they just didn't do anything with it. It's
I think it was just too niche of a game genre to offer to the player base that Minecraft holds, and to that they were offering it to.
Well, the thing that I've heard a lot of people say is that like a lot of people were like, I enjoyed it, like it was a fun game, but they just didn't do anything with it.
Enjoyable, but yeah, I don't think they got what they wanted out of it, and they didn't want to keep up with it due to that.
The one thing that I will say, and I'll mimic what a lot of people are saying about it, is like it felt good for like the first like hour, maybe two, and then once you beat like the introductory like quest or whatever you want to call it, like the spiel that they push you through to teach you how to play the game, it just turned into more of the same shit that you just did for 2 hours.
Just on repeat. Yeah.
Just on repeat. Yeah. So it was very, it's like they didn't think through what people were going to do for the end game. You know?
To a point that's kind of how Minecraft Dungeons was too. It just, at least Minecraft Dungeons was a quick, like,
playthrough. But they've been pushing Minecraft Dungeons a lot. Like they've had a lot of updates for Minecraft Dungeons. And they did not do the same thing for this.
I think comparing the two, Minecraft Dungeons is a lot easier of a game to get into.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Than say Minecraft Legends was. So I think it was just too niche of a genre for them to jump into.
It surprised me. I had fun with it, but like I didn't push through until like the end game. So I can understand where people coming with it. So
yeah.
Well, Minecraft was not the only thing that got hit with things coming to an end. Unfortunately, this is the time, the season where layoffs happen, and there has been a bunch. Twitch just laid off basically 500 people. Was like 25% of their workforce, I think, or something like that, was just laid off.
17 or something like that.
Yeah. And then we also had Google, which just laid off
they didn't specify, I don't think.
Yeah, theirs was just a bunch of employees.
Yeah.
And then
hundreds.
You also had Discord that just laid off 170 people, and Unity that just is going to lay off 25%. Yep, Unity is letting go of 25% of their workforce. So
Unity is just taking L's.
I mean, yeah,
well, this you know, we were talking about it a little bit before the podcast, like this morning or this afternoon, when we were kind of pulling things together, and it's like it's sad. It really is, and it sucks for the people that are losing these jobs. But like we've talked about this in the past for like the past 2 years, right? So ever since COVID, we've seen people, these bigger companies like Blizzard, like EA, like Google, like this, that, in between. They've all done like fairly significant layoffs, right? And we've talked about it in the past where it's like, well, when COVID first started, these companies did huge mass hiring sprees because they needed it. Like people didn't have anything that they were doing.
They needed all the remote jobs.
They were on YouTube constantly. They were on Twitch constantly. They were on, Netflix constantly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So while it's sad, to me, it's not that surprising. I kind of felt that it was going to happen. I'm surprised that it's still not. We haven't seen like huge, like this is big. Like, I don't think that this is the largest that we're going to see.
No, I mean, this is a third of the workforce. Look,
yeah,
I said this at the very beginning, or when we were talking in the streaming news, like, and I had some pushback in chat, like, and I get it, like that people don't want to sit here and say like, oh, well, it's like Twitch should be Twitch and it's streamers and stuff like that. It is a business. Like, all of these things are fucking businesses. And if they don't make money and they don't make enough money, cuts have to come. Now, does that sit here and give these companies a fucking carte blanche excuse to say, hey, we can hire and bloat and fire and bloat, and does it destroy, people's lives? Absolutely. Like, no, it does not give them that right. And yes, it is absolutely devastating. I've been affected by layoffs. I'm sure everybody in this everybody here has been affected by layoffs in some way, shape, or form. But like Twitch, so singling out Twitch has not been profitable in a decade, guys. Like a fucking decade. Twitch has not been profitable. They have not made money in a do you think Amazon is going to continue? Like I'm not.
Amazon ain't happy about that. Amazon.
One thing to point out as well is that Amazon also laid off a shit ton of people, not just Twitch. Yeah. Amazon themselves laid off a shit ton of people too, like 800 and some odd people. I think like, I can't remember what the exact number was, but
I'm sure out of all the jobs though, Amazon probably hired on the most in those times.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will give credit to
several hundred staff is what this one was saying. So,
I will give credit to Dan Clancy to do something that none of these other companies have done. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to jump on into a open fucking forum and just chat about everything. You know, whether or not you like them, don't like, it's still a balls move to be like, hey, I'm going to sit here and talk about it. Like I'm going to,
and how dare he have lag on his stream?
Whatever, man. I mean, I still am just kind of like, bro, come on. Like you are the face of Twitch. Like maybe not have frame drops left and right. But I don't know, man. Like I'm not giving them a pass. It still sucks. I have friends that were affected by this. It is sad. You know,
it's
because
not a good time, man.
Ultimately this does come down to mismanagement. It comes down to poor decision making. It comes down to companies not doing what they should be doing and spending money appropriately and forecasting appropriately and hiring appropriately.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not just poor decisions, but like poor planning, like future planning, like future proofing. Like they took the numbers that they were getting post COVID, right, and we're like, we're gonna make this forever, right, and that's not sustainable.
Yeah. It does suck, and I do feel for everybody that is.
I'm sorry for everybody that lost your stuff, and hopefully you guys can find another job, and hopefully in the business that you're wanting to be in. So,
and I would say that you can be. I would just what I would preface all of this by saying is, you can absolutely and have the right to be pissed off at companies for this, but just make sure that you're pissed off for the right reasons and not for just this. Understand the reason why you're angry at them, right? And just. Because someone in chat just said it, like, sometimes layoffs have to happen for a business to stay active. Like, again, it doesn't mean that they're right, but is it Amazon may have gone, hey, either fucking get this number down or we're letting go of the whole fucking thing.
That's 100% what they're saying. I guarantee it. Amazon's looking at him and being like, look, you're our worst profit margin, terrible. Essentially. Like,
so, and I have no doubt that
I feel bad for I feel bad for Dan because he's the one taking most of the flack from Amazon at this point. He's just, I think all he's doing is just trying to right this ship at this point. He's just like,
ever since he took over,
man.
I feel like he's been trying to right all the wrongs. And
I like Dan.
They did not deal him. They did not deal him a good deck of cards at all.
I honestly do. I believe him too. Whenever he was like, look, like this is like, because people were like, well, what about your salary? You should take a fucking cut. And he's like, I did.
I did
fucking take a cut. He's like, I'm earning nowhere close to what I should be, or whatever else. And so, obviously I'm not gonna be like, release your bank statements, but I mean, I believe him.
Well, with his laggy stream, I'll believe it.
I mean,
yeah.
With his stream setup, he's Walmarting it right now, bro.
Struggling, bro.
He's got a scruffy setup when it first started. He's got a skateboard holding up his shit. Anyway,
love you, Dan. Love you, Dan.
Yeah. So, the last thing that we're going to talk about before we hit into quick hits and then we are done for this show. This is pretty big news. The Actors Union have announced that they are basically, they've come to an agreement with using a quote unquote ethical AI.
Ethical AI.
But from what I've heard, and Bill, I don't know if you've read into this more, but from what I've heard is that companies cannot use AI to supplement writers, but writers can use AI if they choose to. And then,
and it's a similar thing with the voice acting. The voice actor they can't have their voice pulled without their consent, but it's basically a blanket, like, make your voice available type situation
for companies to seek like the AI of somebody's voice.
Yeah, so they can hire your AI instead of hiring you
at most. I don't know. Most likely a lower rate, I'd assume.
Yeah,
and I mean, it would.
This also extends to everybody.
It would be essentially free.
Yeah,
this essentially buying the rights.
Yeah, buying the rights to your voice. Yeah. Yes, without actually having to hire you for the process.
Let me tell you something right now. Without going too deep into what I know and don't know about the industry, anybody that's in this, you need to read your fucking contracts. And I mean, or have an agency that reads your fucking contracts, because this is shit that will be penciled in without you knowing, and in a very fine point and a fine print somewhere that you will not see unless you know what you're reading. So just be careful.
Well, no, the worst part about this entire thing is that and granted, this is all just hearsay, right? This is just people saying that they personally don't know anybody that approved this, right? But according to like some big names in the voice acting like shtick or whatever you want to call it, the voice acting area, they're saying that like nobody they know has approved this. Like nobody that they know was okay with this. Like nobody has been.
I don't think anybody's really going to be.
SAG did this on their own, basically.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Which is wild after SAG just fought for the writer's strike, like after all of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty backhanded move after the strikes that went on.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Well, we're going to move into the last segment, which is our quick hits. And this is where we cover news articles that are pertinent, but not necessarily the most pertinent to have a full section. We already talked about Riot introducing the Vanguard anti-cheat system into League. Guys, can we just, I do want to take one moment to just do a full fucking round of applause. Yay. Bobby Kotick has kicked the fuck out of Activision. That motherfucker is not touching video games as of right now.
That's it.
God.
And we're starting to see some people come forward that are like, Bobby Kotick is the reason why like Call of Duty is in the position that it's in right now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
This is the fucking chance for Microsoft to really do something good.
I did enjoy like the day that Bobby was out. Developers were like, "Yeah, he fucking kicked my dog. He stole my wife, and he made Call of Duty and World of Warcraft terrible. And if you hate Overwatch, blame Bobby on that too."
Dude, there was one person in there that was like, he was in a meeting and he threatened somebody's life for like not doing something that he told them.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then not long after all that too, his name came out on the Epstein fucking
that doesn't surprise me, dude. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, dude.
None of that list surprises me. Let's be real.
Crazy, bro.
One of them does.
The worst part is that nothing will fucking happen.
No,
we're not.
Absolutely not.
We are not a political.
No,
podcast.
We're not a political podcast at all. But yeah. Also, the new PS5 controller was leaked by a retailer to have a new 12-hour battery life. Which is a pretty big deal. And then also too, just real quick, if you are a hacker or a leaker, you may want to be careful when you go after Rockstar, because they'll put your ass in jail. Just
in
a hospital. Yeah. And, the person that leaked the Grand Theft Auto 6 shit, I don't think anybody's ever heard. I don't think anybody's heard from him since. He's disappeared.
He said that if they give him like a iPhone 15 and like a Wi-Fi port or something, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
He said some shit like that.
Fucking idiot.
Like, I'll do it again.
Fucking idiot. Anyway,
he's young too. He's a young kid.
Yeah. Well, did you guys hear about? I know we're already over, but did you guys hear about the fucking dude that's Joker, the real life Joker, or whatever else?
Yeah,
Florida that's suing fucking Activision.
GTA.
Bro, get the fuck out of here! Like,
I like the fact that he had to like color his hair the purple or green or whatever, and then he was like purposely putting on like jumpsuits, like orange jumpsuits, to make it look even more. And I'm just like, dude,
bro, I'm
out of here, man.
I mean, I'm obviously speaking for myself, but Rockstar, if you want to put me or the pre-patch podcast, at least into your fucking game, fuck it, go ahead, man, have at it, dude. Do it. Just give us link. I just want the links. I want the fucking links. Like, give us the promo for it. So, all right. Well, that's it. That is episode 108. The return of the PP. We are officially done. You guys have anything else you want to highlight or showcase or talk about before we head out for the night?
No, I'm glad to be back. Happy to get the first podcast of the year done. It's only uphill from here, baby.
Yeah. Happy 2024, everybody. This is it. This is the start.
Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's make that happen 6 months in. So on that note,
tell your mom to tell her moms, you know.
Yeah, tell all your kids, tell all your friends, tell your kids' friends, and your friends' kids' friends. You can go to anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Catch us there on any of your podcasting apps, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Spotify. We are on X. We're on TikTok. Yeah, right. No. Yeah. TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so I don't keep up with it.
A little bit.
I don't post on it too much, but yeah.
But we also have a Discord, ! Discord, in both channels. You can go into our Discord and become part of the community. But we have some really big things coming for the rest of this year, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure that you, if you haven't gone over to our channels, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell, follow on Twitch, and yeah, we will see you guys in a week at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch and YouTube. And see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego. Installation.